previous lesson about modeling natural language expansions, we were specifically focused on modeling expansions for the purpose of imitation. In other words, using a single word your child used to model longer phrases, helping to promote language development. Now we're going to take our attention to modeling natural language expansions for the purpose of spontaneous utterances. Let's get started. Children learn language from listening to those around them, namely their parents and caregivers. In other words, a child has to frequently hear language being used in order to imitate those words, phrases, and expressions. This helps children understand the structure of language, sound production, and the meaning of words to expand their vocabularies. Think about it like this. Who does your child listen to most on a day-to-day basis? Probably you. They're soaking up everything you say. That's why it's important to surround them with a language-rich environment. You can do this by speaking frequently to your child and narrating what you're doing during daily activities. A natural language expansion is when you take a word that your child says and model it into a longer phrase. Here's an example. If your child tells you milk to request a drink, you could model, I want milk, or drink milk. You just simply use the word they offered in a 2 or 3 word phrase. While this seems pretty simple, it's one of the most effective strategies in helping improve your child's language skills. Think about activities throughout the day where you directly interact and talk with your child. Let's look at some ways you can model natural language expansions in those contexts. As an example, let's say you and your child are playing outside with bubbles. Maybe they say bubbles to request bubbles or state that they're excited by the bubbles. You could respond, that's right, that's a big bubble. Then you could repeat, big bubble, to model the targeted phrase. The goal here is for your child to spontaneously imitate that 2-word phrase, big bubble. If your child begins to frequently use 2-word phrases, then you can start targeting 3-word phrases. You could model, I see bubbles, or I love bubbles. You can implement modeling like this into just about any activity. That's what's so wonderful about language growth activities. You don't need any fancy materials or equipment. You can simply incorporate them into everyday contexts. Practice this as often as you can, or at a minimum for at least 15 minutes a day.